friends, here's part 2 of chapter 1 of the book The House at Pooh Corner. The chapter is Pooh Builds House. Eeyore is speaking. I said to myself, the others will be sorry if I'm getting myself all cold. They haven't got brains, any of them. Only gray fluff that's blown into their heads by mistake, and they don't think. But if it goes on snowing for another 6 weeks or so, one of them will begin to say to himself, Eeyore can't be so very much too hot about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then it will get about, and they'll be sorry. Oh, Eeyore, said Christopher Robin, feeling very sorry already. I don't mean you, Christopher Robin. You're different. So what it all comes to is that I built myself a house down by my little wood. Did you really? How exciting! The really exciting part, said Eeyore in his most melancholy voice, is that when I left it this morning, it was there. And when I came back, it wasn't. Not at all. Very natural, and it was only Eeyore's house, but still, I just wondered. Christopher Robin didn't stop to wonder. He was already back in his house, putting on his waterproof hat, his waterproof boots, and his waterproof mackintosh as fast as he could. We'll go and look for it at once, he called out to Eeyore. Sometimes, said Eeyore, when people have quite finished taking a person's house, there are 1 or 2 bits which they don't want and are rather glad for the person to take back, if you know what I mean. So I thought if we just went... Come on, said Christopher Robin, and off they hurried, and in a very little time they got to the corner of the field by the side of the pine wood, where Eeyore's house wasn't any longer. There, said Eeyore, not a stick of it left. Of course, I've still got all this snow to do what I like with. One mustn't complain. But Christopher Robin wasn't listening to Eeyore. He was listening to something else. Can't you hear it? He asked. What is it? Someone laughing. Listen. They both listened, and they heard a deep, gruff voice saying in a singing voice that the more it snowed, the more it went on snowing, and a small high voice tiddly-palming in between. It's Pooh, said Christopher Robin excitedly. Possibly, said Eeyore. And Piglet, said Christopher Robin excitedly. Probably, said Eeyore. What we want is a trained bloodhound. The words of the song changed suddenly. We've finished our house, sang the gruff voice. Tiddly-pom, sang the squeaky one. It's a beautiful house, tiddly-pom. I wish it were mine, tiddly-pom. Pooh, shouted Christopher Robin. The singers on the gate stopped suddenly. It's Christopher Robin, said Pooh eagerly. He's round by the place where we got all those sticks from, said Piglet. Come on, said Pooh. They climbed down their gate and hurried round the corner of the wood, Pooh making welcoming noises all the way. Why, here's Eeyore, said Pooh, when he had finished hugging Christopher Robin, and he nudged Piglet, and Piglet nudged him, and they thought to themselves what a lovely surprise they had got already. Hello, Eeyore. Same to you, Pooh Bear, and twice on Thursdays, said Eeyore gloomily. Before Pooh could say, why Thursdays, Christopher Robin began to explain the sad story of Eeyore's lost house. And Pooh and Piglet listened, and their eyes seemed to get bigger and bigger. Where did you say it was? Said Pooh. Just here, said Eeyore. Made of sticks? Yes. Oh, said Piglet. What? Said Eeyore. I just said, oh, said Piglet nervously. And so as to seem quite at ease, he hummed tiddly-palm once or twice in a what shall we do now kind of way. "You're sure it was a house?" said Pooh. "I mean, you're sure the house was just here?" "Of course I am," said Eeyore, and he murmured to himself, "No brain at all, some of them." "Why, what's the matter, Pooh?" asked Christopher Robin. "Well," said Pooh, "the fact is," said Pooh. "Well, the fact is," said Pooh, "you see, it's like this," said Pooh, and something seemed to tell him he wasn't explaining very well, and he nudged Piglet again. "It's like this," said Piglet quickly, "only warmer," he added after deep thought. "What's warmer?" "The other side of the wood, where Eeyore's house is." "My house?" said Eeyore. "My house was here." "No," said Piglet firmly, "the other side of the wood." "Because of being warmer," said Pooh. "But I ought to know." "Come and look," said Piglet simply, and he led the way. "There wouldn't be two houses," said Pooh, "not so close together." They came round the corner, and there was Eeyore's house, looking as comfy as anything. "There you are," said Piglet. "Inside as well as outside," said Pooh proudly. Eeyore went inside and came out again. "It's a remarkable thing," he said. "It is my house, and I built it where I said I did. So the wind must have blown it here. And the wind blew it right over the wood, and blew it down here, and here it is, as good as ever. In fact, better in places." "Much better," said Pooh and Piglet together. "It just shows what can be done by taking a little trouble," said Eeyore. "Do you see, Pooh? Do you see, Piglet? Brains first, and then hard work. Look at it. That's the way to build a house," said Eeyore proudly. So they left him to it, and Christopher Robin went back to lunch with his friends Pooh and Piglet, and on the way they told him of the awful mistake they had made. And when he had finished laughing, they all sang the outdoor song for snowy weather the rest of the way home. Piglet, who was still not quite sure of his voice, putting in the tiddly-palms again. "And I know it seems easy," said Piglet to himself, "but it isn't everyone who could do it." That concludes Chapter 1. I'll return with Chapter 2. Thank you for listening.